So on that note, let's start today's Murli. In fact, today Baba has recalled our multi-million fortune. So today we'll be reading the Murli of 17th of April 1984, the signs of those who are multi-million times fortunate. I believe we all consider ourselves to be that fortunate soul. So let us see what Baba has for us. What signs do he mention for us? Murli is quite short, and Baba then meets different regions. So generally we have just one state meeting Baba, but in this Murli there are various different states meeting Baba, and for each different groups Baba is having some other very good teachings. So we have short pockets of knowledge, a lot of knowledge Baba would be giving, a lot of capsules he would be giving throughout this Murli. And towards the end something strange happens. Uh, Baba addresses someone leaves body. So how does Baba see that? So that is quite interesting thing, which we'll be reading towards the end of the Murli. So let us start. The signs of those who are multi-million times fortunate. Today, the Father, the bestower of fortune, is looking at all his fortunate children. Every Brahman soul is a fortunate soul. To become a Brahman means to become fortunate. Hmm. So forget about we getting kingdom, forget about we having elevated birth in Satyug Treta, or whatever Purusharth we do, or we don't do any Purusharth. But the very reason that we are Brahmin, that itself is a very fortunate thing. So Baba says, to belong to God means to become fortunate. All are fortunate, but after belonging to the Father and receiving the inheritance of the different treasures from the Father, you become number wise in claiming a right to that elevated inheritance, in using it in your life of all rights, and in constantly increasing the rights you have received in the right way to bring about expansion. Let us read this statement again. It's a big statement. What Baba says, all are fortunate, but after belonging to the Father and receiving the inheritance of the different treasures from the Father, you become number wise in claiming a right to that elevated inheritance, in using it in your life of all rights, and in constantly increasing the rights you have received in the right way to bring about expansion. Some just remain fortunate, and others became 100 times fortunate. So now Baba is, even in the fortune space, Baba is quantifying that some would be just fortunate, some would be 100 times fortunate, some became 1,000 times fortunate, and some become 100,000 times fortunate. हजार गुना, lakh guna, and some become multi-million times fortunate. Padma Padam Bhagyashali. This is because to use the treasures in the right way means to increase them. So the expansion which Baba was mentioning earlier, the inherited, the elevated inheritance, how we use those rights in our life and constantly increasing it. So that expansion is about that inheritance. So Baba is again referring that the treasures, to use the treasures in the right way means to increase them, whether you use them to make yourself complete or whether with the completion of yourself you use them to serve other souls. Perishable wealth diminishes as you use it. Imperishable wealth increases multi-million times as you use it. This is interesting. Perishable wealth diminishes as we use, and imperishable wealth increases multi-million fold times as we use it. How does it increase? This is something which we can churn later. So Baba says, this is why there is the saying, spend it and eat from it. The more you spend and eat from it, the more prosperous the Father, the Emperor of all emperors, will make you. This is why those who use their treasures of the fortune they have received for service will continue to move forward. To be multi-million times fortunate means to accumulate an income of multi-millions at every step, and as a multi-million times server to use your every thought, word, deed, and connection for service. One who is multi-million times fortunate is constantly generous hearted and a great donor eternally and constantly. That one would be a bestower who constantly gives to others. Such souls would not be servers according to the program or facilities, but constantly great donors. So Baba is mentioning, even while we serve or we bestow anything, it would not be occasional or maybe limited to a event or an opportunity, but it would be constant. If they don't serve through words, they would serve through their thoughts and deeds. Though their connections and relationships, through their connections and relationships, they would be constant servers with their unending and constant treasures in one way or the other. There would be different forms of service, but the wave of service would constantly continue. Just as you are a constant yogi, so be a constant server. This is also very interesting. Baba always mentions about constant yogi, remembering Baba anywhere and everywhere we are. How can we be a constant server? So this is another point which we can reflect on. Baba says a constant server constantly eats the elevated fruit of service and also continues to give it to others. That is, he himself eats the fruit of all of the time of sorry, that is, he himself eats the fruit all the time and thereby becomes a practical embodiment. So while we are being a constant server, it is not that we have the attitude of okay, we are serving. Maybe we'll get something in Satyug, we are accumulating our fortune and things like that. But while we are serving, we are also enjoying that service. We are enjoying the fruits of that service. And that is where Baba says that he himself eats the fruit all the time and thereby becomes a practical embodiment. Multimillion times fortunate souls would always be seated on a lotus seat. So, see, basically, Baba is mentioning all those. If you read this last couple of paragraphs, the very term which they have used in Gita, or not having a English translation, good English translation of that, that is Sthit Pragya Yogi. Okay, so may that be any situation, a yogi will always be in that same state of mind throughout. He will be in the embodiment, he would be into that awareness, he would be serving all the time, he would be also enjoying the fruits all the time, he would be a yogi all the time. Everything is constant, everything is stable. So Baba says, multi-million times fortunate souls would always be seated on a lotus seat. That is, they would always be in the stage of a lotus flower. They would be detached from the attachments of anything limited and detached from accepting limited fruit. Okay, so again, when it comes to fruits, Baba was mentioning earlier that they would eat the fruit. So again, this doesn't mean that that naam manshan, the name fame kind of fruit after service, because that is again a limited fruit. Mm. Unlimited fruit is something which doesn't require any injection from outside. That would be inner satisfaction, inner joy, and again that is unlimited. Again, a very deep reflective thing which we can see what kind of fruits of service do we enjoy and how constant that is. Will it get impacted, affected our state of being if there is any lesser or more fruit? Something on those grounds we can think later. So what Baba says, the one who sits on the lotus flower, that of course the multi-billion fortunate souls, they would be detached from the attractions of anything limited and detached from accepting limited fruit, and so would be loved by the Father. Hmm. So Baba is having again whom he will be loving. Baba has mentioned those criteria. The Brahman family and the world. Not only Father, but the Brahman family and the world. Such elevated server souls are constantly offered flowers of happiness by everyone with love from their hearts. Bap Dada himself offers flowers of love to such constant serving multi-million times fortunate souls. Multi-million times fortunate souls constantly give other souls light with their sparking stars of fortune to make their fortune to make them fortunate. Bab Dada was seeing each fortunate souls, whether they are far away or personally in front of Baba. They constantly have the Father merged in their heart. This is why those who are equal remain close. Now ask yourselves what type of fortunate souls you are. You can know yourself, can you not? You may or may not accept something when others tell you, but you yourself can know what type of souls you are. Hmm? So Baba says we need not have uh, any certification from outsiders, but we ourselves might know what kind of soul we are. Baba says, do you understand? Nevertheless, Bab Dada says, at least you have become fortunate from being unfortunate. So Baba again is coming to square one that Okay, Baba has elaborated what is multi-million time fortunate and all that. But even if for that matter we don't follow all those things, Baba says at least you are fortunate. That itself is a big deal. Then being unfortunate, you will at least become free from the many types of sorrow and suffering. You will at least become the masters of heaven. One is to go to the heaven, and another is to claim a right to the kingdom. All of you will go to heaven. But ask yourself when and where you will come in the heaven. Your name has already been written in Bapdada's list for going to heaven. This is better than for everyone else in the world. Hmm? So see, Baba is playing a dual thing. He is encouraging the children that, oh wow, everyone is going to heaven, so you're so fortunate than rest of the world. But again, he's boosting our morale. He's asking us to push our limits so that we claim a much higher seat in terms of timing to go to heaven, in terms of the position which we get, in terms of fortunate which we claim ourselves to be. However, Baba says it is not the best of all. So what will you do? Which zone will claim number one? Each zone has its own speciality. So now Baba is meeting different zones. Let us spend time in understanding what Baba tells each zone. What is the speciality of Maharashtra? Do you know? You are great anyway. But what is the speciality that is remembered of you? Ganesh is worshipped a great deal in Maharashtra. What is Ganesh so also called? The destroyer of obstacles. Vigna Vinashak. Vignaharta. Whenever people begin a task, they first give salutations to Ganesh. So, what will those from Maharashtra do? You will invoke Sri Ganesh for every great task. Will you not? Maharashtra means the state of those who are constantly destroyers of obstacles. So, always be a destroyer of obstacles and show this greatness for yourself and for others. Let there be let there not be any obstacles in Maharashtra. Let everyone become a destroyer of obstacles. Let it come and salute you from a distance. So, you have bought a group of such destroyers of obstacles, have you not? Maharashtra has constantly to show this greatness of itself in the world, to the world. You are not those who are afraid of obstacles, are you? You are the destroyers of obstacles who challenge others. In any case, Maharashtra shows a lot of bravery. Acha. Baba meets UP now. Baba says, what wonders will those from UP show? What is the speciality of UP? Uttar Pradesh, Baba is meeting, I believe. There are many pilgrimage places and many rivers there. All the Jagat Gurus are also there. There are four Jagat Gurus in the four corners, are they not? There are many Mahamandaleshwars in UP. The doorway to Hari, that is Haridwar, in UP is special. So let there be many servers in UP who show the doorway to Hari, that is God. That is, those who show the door to go close to God. Because UP is a pilgrimage place, there are many guides there. They are those who eat and drink, but you are the special server guides who show the true path, who celebrate a meeting with the Father, and who bring others close to the Father. Are there such special? Pandavas, who are the guides in UP, UP has to reveal its form of the Pandavas practically as being the guides. Do you understand? So Bapdada meets the third group. What is the speciality of Mysore? There is sandalwood there and also special garlands there. Baba knows everything, all specialities of each state. And that too, Baba keeps on highlighting different specialities in different Murlis. So Baba telling to Mysore group. So those from Karnataka especially have to become constant spiritual roses and fragrant sandalwood. Spread the fragrance of sandalwood and of spiritual roses and make the world into a garden. Spread the fragrance of sandalwood into the world. Keep the tilak of sandalwood and make everyone fragrant and cool. Sandalwood is also cool. So the maximum number of spiritual roses will emerge from Karnataka. Will it not? This means to show the practical proof. Now, everyone has to show the practical form of their own speciality. You have to bring the maximum number of fragrant spiritual roses that are in full bloom. You have bought them. Some of you have brought them, but you haven't brought a bouquet. फूल लाए है लेकिन गुलदस्ता नहीं लाए. अच्छा, Bab Dada has spoken a lot of praise of the foreign lands. The speciality of abroad is that you become very detached and also become very attached. Bab Dada is mentioning about the double foreigners. Seeing the loving detachment of the children from abroad, Bab Dada is pleased. That life has now become the past. To the extent that you were trapped, to the extent you have now become detached. This is why Bap Dada loves the detachment and the lovingness of those from abroad. This is why Bap Dada is also giving special love and remembrance. You have become merged in your own speciality. Have you not? You are also detached and loving, are you not? You don't have any attachment, do you? Nevertheless, those from abroad have come home as guests, and so the guests are always kept at the front. This is why the people of Bharat have special happiness seeing those from abroad. There are some who come as guests and settle down as hosts. This has always been the activity of those from abroad. They come as guests and settle as hosts. They have nevertheless broken many barriers and come to the Father. And so, as you would say, you first. Would you not? In any case, Bharat has its own speciality and abroad has its own speciality. Acha. So Baba is so nicely mentioning them to be guests. Not only guests, but they have become hosts because they are claiming Baba's inheritance. And towards the end, Baba again balances it out by saying that each has its own speciality. So Baba now gives, coming towards the end, to all the multi-million times fortunate souls who are seated on the lotus seat, to those who are constantly well-known goddesses with 84 bells in every thought and at every second. So will you now ring the bells in 84, or should we wait even longer? Abroad, people are living in fear, wondering when the bells will be rung. When the lands abroad ring the bells, or will the land ring them? What is Baba telling? Will the lands abroad ring the bell, or will this land ring them? Okay, so will Bharat ring the bell, or will foreigners ring? 84 means the bells will ring everywhere at the end of any function when they do the arti, that is special worship ritual with lamps on a tray. They ring the bells very loudly, and then the ceremony is completed. To do the arti means it is the end. So, what will you do now? To all the multimillion times fortunate souls who are seated on the lotus seat, to those who are constant servers of every second and in every thought, to the master bestowers who constantly give all treasures with a generous heart, to those who make others complete with their own completion, to those who have a right to the elevated fortune, to the worthy children, and constantly give elevated proof, Bab Dadas, love, remembrance, and namaste. So again, some states Baba covered earlier, the Maharashtra, UP, Mysore, Karnataka, double foreigners. Couple of them still remain. So Baba is now meeting the residents of Punjab. The father is sitting here, and so you don't need to think about anything. Whatever happens will be beneficial. You belong to everyone. You are neither Hindus nor Sikhs. You belong to the father, and so you belong to everyone. In Pakistan too, they used to say that you are the people who belong to God. You don't have a connection with anything. So we all must be knowing that our yajna was in Pakistan after the partition for around 3 4 years, and over there nobody told that we are Hindus. Even the Muslims respected Brahma Baba and everybody, and told that you belong to God. And in fact, they never forced us to leave Pakistan. While we were coming from there, they indeed told that if you need anything, we are there to support. Why are you leaving? But then Brahma Baba had to convince them that this is order from God that we need to go to Bharat. Anyways, so Baba says you don't have a connection with anything. This is why you belong to God and not to anyone else. No matter what happens, you're not those who become afraid. So there was always riots those time in Punjab, and the Sikhs and Hindus, they had some uh, battles, but Baba always over here Baba mentions, don't worry, you belong to Baba, you belong to God. So no matter whatever happens, no matter how much fire there is, the kittens will remain safe. However, only those who are yog yukt will remain safe. Let it not be that you say that you belong to the Father and you remember someone else. So Baba is again wants to have double way commitment. It's not that we do anything and Baba will keep us safe. It should be both ways. So Baba says, such souls will not receive help. Don't be afraid. Don't have any other fear, but continue to move forward. Move forward in the pilgrimage of remembrance, in imbibing virtues, and in studying in all the subjects. The more you move forward, the more easily you will continue to attain. So I think it's almost 5:30. The Murli is little more long, so maybe we can take these other section as home exercise because Baba has already shared a lot of things. So I'll pause here. Let's reflect on whatever we read for a moment and we'll start journey. Om Shanti. Okay, so what did we capture from today's Murli for ourselves?
Om Shanti, uh, beautiful
Om
Murli,
Shanti.
and which I once Om Shanti, which once again highlights the 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 qualities of multi-million times fortunate souls, and we Brahmin souls are being Brahmin, we are fortunate, and another fortunate is to be belonging to God. On the bit that happens only in this conference phase, no other uh, space time of the Kalpa does this happen. And the definition of multi-million times fortunate soul means the soul who accumulates an income of multi-millions at every step by serving uh, the entire, and all the souls, Brahmin soul, Lokik family, office, business, and every soul which the soul gets into the contact and relation, connection and relation, every soul is served by this soul through thought, word, and action. And in so that's it gets dua blessings from every soul through this service, and that is what is the income. Om Shanti.
Yes, thank you. Anything else which anybody would like to add?
Ultimately, so Baba says anyway, everybody will go to heaven, but Baba want everyone to check, ask yourself where you will go, what uh, uh, position you will claim. Ask yourself where and when. Okay, in heaven. So it is so that everybody will go to heaven, those who have become Baba's child. But the thing to ask is what position to claim there. So that is something Baba will not reveal, but we will have to check ours within how much I am progressing. Where will I go? What will I claim there? Function.
Yeah, so we all are fortunate in the sense we all claim the right to go to heaven. But Baba is mentioning that some are 100 times fortunate, some would be 1,000 times, some would be 100,000, some would be million, and some would be multi-million. So basically, how much treasures we accumulate, and that is where which will help us probably. And again, Baba mentioned about perishable wealth and imperishable wealth. So the more we use those treasures, become embodiment of it, also enjoy the fruit, the more we would be multi-million fortunate, and that will in turn relate to us getting better position or better goodies that would we might get in heaven. So Bapada gives that definition. I'll just quote: to be multi-million times fortunate means to accumulate an income of multi-millions at every step, and as a multi-million times server, to use your every thought, word, deed, and connection for service. Unquote.
Praful Bhai, Om Shanti. Just soon after these lines, this very beautiful line Baba brought out is that one who is multi-million times fortunate. What are the personality traits or the characteristics of that soul? Uh, uh, Very interesting. Soul will be constantly generous-hearted and a great donor eternally and constantly. These two words, eternally and constantly. We can churn more on that. Eternally means without any this thing, whether the soul is playing a role, but deep inside, soul is in the incorporeal stage, anadi stage, where constant donor, uh, soul is a constant donor. That is. And constantly means not even one thought will be without service. That's a very high level where Baba is expecting us to be uh, reaching that goal of constant service.
Yeah, very right. So, of course, in others Murli as well, and even in this Murli, Baba always likes the word constant. Even here, he has used every thought, every word, every deed, and eternally, constantly. Even the group which Baba was meeting from Punjab, he told that you have to remember only Baba, not others. So I think like it's a journey. Like as we read Murlis, uh, and we as we progress in Brahman life, we should uh, really pause and check throughout the day. Is my focus of thoughts, words, actions, whatever, a memory or anything, how much that is elevated, how much of that is in terms of remembering Baba, serving others, and how much of them is still in the waste thoughts, ordinary thoughts, and eventually the latter should reduce. The and there might be a stage which all of us will come across, karmatit stage, and it would be different for each one of us because each one of us has might have practiced that separately. But yes, Baba in every murli in some way or the other keeps reminding us to have these things as a constant thing, not something which we pick up and choose as per our convenience. If I put it other way, so, so yeah, I think each of these murli keeps hammering us that okay, we need to be in such stage, and of course, all of us are trying to come to that, and we would. It's just that how much focus we are and how much we uh, have attention towards it. Yeah.
Yes, it's kind of a gentle reminder Baba brings out from every Murli, whether it is Avyakt Murli or Sakar Murli.
Hmm.
Baba to bring out this aspect of constant server, constant lover, constant, constant. Uh, and
Hmm.
You were speaking about sthir prajna. That I think the word which is very close in English is stable intellect. I think intellect should not wander, should be stabilized in the eternal form. That I am soul and I'm child of God. I'm a, that still Baba also wants that state should be stable. Sometimes Tirpak, sometimes Asthirpak is also not what Baba wants. So that Baba keeps, as you rightly brought up, keeps giving this reminder, gentle reminder to us uh, in every way from the Murli.
Om Shanti,
Om
Vasudha.
Shanti.
For me, you were asking the question when you started the Murli, how does perishable wealth diminish but imperishable wealth increase? Sangam Yug, Brahma Baba, Brahmin, Brahma Kumars and Kumaris, I think there itself when we got our Brahma Mukha Vanshavali, a fortune, a line of fortune was created because there was only one thing in that. We were not child or child of some emperors, but we belonged to God. Now that God, He gives, we are taking, we belong to Him, we are taking His inheritance, we are taking His treasures. Then why is it that we are not able to really claim our right to kingdom? So Baba says it's because you do not use the right method to increase it. Now, how does wealth increase away? Baba is saying spend it, eat it, and then again become more prosperous. I remember an economics law, the more you consume a commodity, the less you want to have, the more of. But over here, Baba says the universal giving is receiving. And if you feel we already have what we need, so do we need to keep what we receive? Because whatever Baba is giving us, it's for giving. And when we give, we receive. Because whenever there's any positive emotion of giving, something inside us increases. Like the more love I give, more love I receive. For this, first we have to keep what we say, the being, before doing. We have to fill ourselves with spiritual life. We have to connect ourselves with the Universal Reserve Bank, the highest spiritual soul, God, who is full of these treasures himself. Then we will get the virtue of the kingdom, of giving. Because if we become like God, we have to have the qualities, personality like God. We have to take his qualities. His quality is always giving, giving. We never think, oh, my treasure store is going to get over. No, it's open, it's free. I can always take it. I think that is the secret I'll have to feel. I have to feel full, I have to feel complete. Then I can, if I'm complete, I can be generous hearted. Then I can give the best to all, and then that's how it increases. You were just asking, so I just thought of the law of economics, and the universal law of Baba giving is receiving. Om Shanti.
Om Shanti. Thank you. I think wonderful. So in economics, we have this law, the law of diminishing marginal utility, wherein with each usage of a product or a commodity, even the utility for us to have that more diminishes. So, for example, if I drink a glass of water, I'm very thirsty. If I drink a glass of water, initially it will quench my thirst. But after I consume multiple glasses, I will no more want it. But in Baba's world, in these treasures, it really works the other way. The more we give, the more we have it, and we will like to give it more. So this is also something which we should check while we serve others. Do we really feel tired? Do we really feel uh, exhausted after doing seva or whatever? And that is where Girjaban told that probably then we are not filled ourselves properly. We are not connected with the Supreme. So yeah, this is a good churning. It can be taken at next level as well as we keep on reflecting. But yeah, as Baba mentions, this is something which never gets empty. This treasure, it will always increase. So,
Also,
anyways,
one
let's.
additional point, Praful Bhai, see, he says you sit on the lotus seat. See, second point. So I'm detached. क्या करने का ये सब रख कर मुझे देने दो. You know, that even when Baba says you're detached, and then that limited fruit and all, the more I give, fruit तो आएगा, मैं देते रहूंगा, मेरा fruit आएगा. So that I accumulate then. So that detachment brings about accumulation. That also is one more point. When you gave that law of economics, after taking the next apple, you don't want to have more. So that's there we can take the law of detachment which Bab Dada is here. That even I like
Mm,
in that paragraph. But one positive point which I like, Raful Bhai, is my name is in Bab Dada's list. That's enough for me. After all this, I think that was an absolute positive point which I'm going to take. I am in
yes.
God's list. Om Shanti.
And that is the beauty of, Baba concluded that thing. So he didn't want us to get overwhelmed with, you have to be always constant, constant. Will I be able to do it? Baba then just cooled us all down. That don't worry, you are much better than world around you. You are in my list. So that was such a soothing statement. So Baba, balances out everything so that we don't become afraid or become, bothered with, oh, so much is left to be done. But at the same time, he also gives us a direction, shows us a mirror. So that is so beautiful of Baba. Anyway, let us now quickly, it's of 5:40. So let's spend a minute and like we did at the beginning, let's thank Baba for giving us such a fortune that he has firstly selected us because we couldn't select Baba, we couldn't find him. He has found us, and he has such a great hope from all of us. Not everybody has hopes from everyone, but we are those worthy souls whom Baba trusts. And let's thank him for all the fortune which he has bestowed on us. I'll pause for 15 seconds while we have heart to heart communication with him. Om Shanti. Thank you, everyone. Have a great day. Enjoy.